The committee of the whole is back in order. I'll recognize Vince Ariola at this time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This morning when we recessed the committee of the whole, I was instructed to review the audio recordings of the negotiations between DPW, the evaluation team, and the negotiating team, review the recordings, and transcribe the recordings. We met right after we left here. We believe we have close to 9 hours of recordings, and we are not in any position to transcribe any of those recordings, especially if my signature is going to be on it. I've been advised by my counsel that if any transcripts are to come to this legislature via DPW, that they be provided by a certified transcriber, paid for, and officially stamped by an official transcriber, if that is still the choice of the body.
So, Senator Barnett, it was your request, and Senator Montanani wanted to ask a question just prior to that, and I'll recognize you.
First, can you let us know who actually recorded the negotiation meetings?
Who recorded?
Who recorded? Was it the construction manager or was it the Department of Public Works?
It was both. The construction manager, SSFM, recorded them.
Okay, so Mr. Duenas, do you have a transcription of the negotiations, these meetings?
So the transcriptions, so the meetings were done on Microsoft Teams, and Microsoft Teams has a feature that records the transcripts. And what we would do is take the recordings, we would put them into minutes, and then we'd record them into the minutes, and then we would take them down. According to Microsoft, right, Teams meetings expire after 30 days. So they were taken down and put into the file. Vince asked that we keep all the recordings, and so that's what we did.
So yes or no, is there an official transcription in writing of the proceedings of the meetings?
There are minutes of the meetings as required by law.
Just for the also the body, once again, those who were not here this morning were sworn in the back by the Sergeant at Arms. So everyone who's testifying at this time has been sworn in. Senator Barnett?
Mr. Chair. So just for the record, again, Director Ariola, you're unwilling to provide transcripts of these procurement negotiation meetings?
I wouldn't say I'm unwilling. I am incapable right now because my version and my definition and the legal definition, as I've been advised of transcription, is that it should be done by an official transcriber, especially if I'm going to submit it to this legislature, this body, and put it in public record. You won't have my signature on something that's not done by an official paid transcriber.
So are you then willing to provide any type of documentation, whether they be minutes, for these procurement meetings?
We can provide the minutes of all the meetings, and like I said, even those they're already online. The recordings are already online, so it's available.
I see the negotiation meeting recordings. However, Simon Sanchez High School negotiation meeting 3 is not uploaded. It goes meeting 1, meeting 2, skips meeting 3, then it goes to meeting 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll let Joe explain that. It's a Microsoft Teams issue.
So Senator, the process of the meeting minutes, right, is we would go into these meetings, we would record them, and again, they'd be uploaded on MS Teams in the Microsoft Cloud for 30 days. Right immediately after these meetings, we would transcribe the meeting minutes as required by law, and we would file them, and we would pull down the recordings and put them into a file for Vince. For some reason, meeting 3 was not in the cloud, so that never came out. However, There is an AI transcription of meeting 3. I think Vince's concern, and I would be concerned with it too if I were the director, is based off our assessment of AI transcription. It's often hallucinates and sometimes it's off. And so you really have to go back in and make sure the record is clear that that's what they were saying, if that makes sense.
It has a real issue with the Chamorro words.
I'm sorry?
It has a real issue with the Chamorro words and the local names.
Also with numbers, like when you're talking 166 million, we've seen where it comes out with 166,000, right? So again, you know, to pass on AI transcripts to you, I'd be concerned about the accuracy of that.
I'm just concerned about the lack of, you know, transparency, really. I think it was an easy ask for us to get these transcripts so that we can review what was discussed in these meetings, especially in light of some of the media reporting that we've seen that has discussed, you know, campaign donations, other instances, highlighting some of the, you know, intricacies of the legislature's relationship with some of the players in this. So I don't know if I'm allowed to, Mr. Chair, but I'd like to ask Attorney General Doug Moylan if this constitutes an incomplete procurement record and if this in any way violates the open government law relative to transparency, as we're not able to even view the contents of one of the meetings in its entirety.
I think it's a relevant question, given the fact that you're questioning the what do you call that, the availability of documents. So we'll allow
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
the Attorney General to answer that.
Mr. Chairman and Senator Barnett, I'm going to have the attorney assigned to DPW, if I may, respond to that.
Good afternoon, Senator. I believe that the issue before this is the accuracy of the information that you're getting. And as such, the AI transcribe, as we've talked about, as Mr. Arreola said, is not always accurate. And if you're going to ask him to sign off on something, then, in my opinion, there needs to be a stipulation that there may be mistakes, there may be errors. I don't think this body wants to operate in a less than accurate. That's just my impression of everybody that I've talked to, and is you want the best information available. My recommendation to my client then was that we see about what it would take, and in my opinion, just as you would in a court, you would download and you would have it professionally transcribed, you would certify it. The transcriber then issues to all parties to verify the accuracy and then turns right around, and once that's done, then they certify it. At that point, we can have a reasonable opinion as to the accuracy. I hope I'm answering your question.
Attorney, may I ask who your client is?
As I said this morning, Senator, I was the attorney assigned to assist DPW once the protest was filed.
Okay. Thank you for that response, but I would just counter that, you know, I don't think we're asking for information that's inaccurate, and I would just kind of have an expectation that there would be a willingness to provide us with the most accurate information that we can get. That's a hell of a lot better than no information at all, with all due respect, sir. So, Mr. Chair, I've made my motion for the transcripts to be provided, and I'm not satisfied with the response from the director, respectfully, because we're very familiar with transcripts here in the legislature. A lot of times when you put these meetings into the app, you have to fine-tune what the AI is saying and make those types of corrections. So I don't think this is an all-or-nothing scenario, respectfully, Mr. Chair. I don't think that if the director and his legal counsel is saying that they can't provide AI transcripts because, you know, typos or those kind of things, I don't think that eliminates the need, really, the validity, justification for us to have eyes on these transcripts. Respectfully, sir.
Joe Duenas, you would like to respond to that?
I just want to point something out for those of you who are really want to get the facts on this. The DPW director did an unprecedented transparency dump online to the public where all the procurement files are available and every single recording of negotiation is available, right? And so I would encourage you, rather than look at the transcripts, listen to what's going on, because as you know, being lawmakers, you have to listen to tone for context, and you have to listen to the whole thing rather than a few seconds of a snippet, right? So I would encourage you, if you're looking for transparency's on the website. It's full recordings. You have access to the tone. You have access to the logic. So it's all available. I've never seen this in government, and it's available online.
Thank you, Mr. Duenas, but I would just respectfully counter that when we go into these sessions, like we're in now, we have available for us transcripts of the public hearing. So no senator is in here in a session watching a hearing, watching for tone, because usually we've already done that part. What we do is we look at the transcript so that we can see verbatim what was said on the record. And I don't think that's a crazy ask. I mean, I think, you know, respectfully, that's right in line with accountability and transparency. And I just want to continue to ask for these documents. Again, I don't think it's going to take days. You said it would take weeks, Director Arriola.
My position again on that, Senator, is it is my personal position as well as the position of my counsel that has advised me that if we're going to do any form of transcripts with my signature having transmitted to the legislature for the record, it'd be done by a legal and official transcriber on the island.
And so it's your personal and professional choice to not do that. So you're saying if we can't get a transcription that has your signature on it, that's an official transcriber, you're just going to provide the senators, the legislature, and the committee with nothing?
I've been sworn to tell the truth, and so if I give you something, a document, a transcribed document, I've been sworn to make that the truth. And it can't be the truth if we're giving it to AI or some other, not to demean the profession, receptionist, secretary, administrative aide, to just put on the headphones, listen to the video or the audio and just start typing away. That's not going to happen. I'm a little bit smarter than that.
I think the people of Guam are the smartest ones here, and I think they see plainly that there's just unwillingness or reluctance to provide the transcriptions. I mean, you've stated yourself what you need to do, and I'm just confused as to why it's not getting done. I mean, if you know that you have to get a transcription firm, I mean, you know, we want to address this measure, you know, fully informed, and I don't understand why you didn't follow the instruction of the legislature during the recess and proceed to get a transcriber and proceed to put these meetings down on paper verbatim as the request was. Right. The request was not, hey, if it's too hard, don't do it.
I understand, Senator. And that request was made 4 hours ago. And
yes.
Even
what had transpired here in the Committee of the Whole was we were told we're going to recess, come back at 2 and find out what the status of you providing these transcripts. And according to what you're saying here on the record, there's no status because you're just simply not going to provide them.
No, Senator, that's not what I'm saying. We met right after we met here, this team here, and we looked at and assessed the audio record. We come to the conclusion that we've got about 9 hours, and this is what's going to take. We consulted legal counsel, and we said, how do we go about it? And they said, you get an official transcriber, no different than the court system, no different than anyone else whenever you get sworn in. And so that's what we've got to do. Will we get a transcriber? If that's the request of the legislature, we will get a transcriber. There's no unwillingness here at all.
I'm just saying, Director, again, respectfully, that was the request. The request was that you provide transcripts, not, you know, you go back and figure out how hard it is 1 to 10 and then come back and say, oh, never mind.
And
that
not
was
to
the
argue with
request,
you, Senator, but there is a method
yeah.
to get transcripts.
Exactly, and you know, I made the request fully cognizant of what the method is, and you know, that it might take longer than a day, you know, just for us to be informed and look at, again, verbatim of the transpirings of these meetings. So I mean, what's that you guys like to say? It is what it is. I think the people of Guam, if the stream was up and running, they were able to see very clearly what the request was, what the justification for it was. And you coming back in here after recess and just saying flat out that, well, I'm a little confused as to what your actual answer is, but I do know that you're telling me that you would have to hire a legal transcriber and get it certified and all that.
Absolutely.
And so, is that effort underway, or?
We're going to have to do that. That's our next step. When I called the chairman, I advised the chairman that this is what it's looking like. We're going to have to hire a transcriber, go through all the audio, and transcribe them, and we'll see where it takes us. But there's absolute willingness to provide the committee. You want transcriptions? We'll certainly provide the committee. Absolutely.
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure how to proceed. Yeah, I made the motion, and yeah, here we are.
Yeah, Senator, I leave it to the will of the body. I mean, if there's a motion to continue, well, without the transcripts, we will continue. If there's an objection to, to not proceeding, I will leave it to the will of the body. This is deliberative process, so I got to do that. Senator Tideway, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a real quick question. I thought I heard something, Joe Duenas, you mentioned something regarding that the meeting number 3 was in the cloud. It was lost in the cloud, number 3. So are you saying that meeting number 3 does not have the audio and only the minutes? Can you verify what that comment about lost in the cloud? What was lost in the cloud?
Okay, what you're asking for right now is, hey, do you have official recordings of the meetings, right? What we have, our process was record the meetings, do the minutes, transcribe it into minutes, and record that. Our process was to eventually take it out from the cloud, the Microsoft cloud, and put it into the procurement file. Because it expires after 30 days, that particular meeting, for some reason, was not on the cloud. We had our IT people look at it, because Vince asked us to do that, but it's not there. What I will tell you, Senator, is there are official meeting minutes, and there is right now an AI transcription of the meeting. Plus, you all have access, and the public has access to all the negotiated meetings online, on video. So if you're looking for transparency, it is available.
Okay, so let me just verify your comment.
Yeah.
You said that for some reason, meeting 3, which basically is in question here on this floor, that for some reason it was not in the cloud when you wanted to pull that recording down. But then you just said right after that, a couple comments after that, that the AI transcriptions is still available for meeting 3?
That's correct, Senator.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so we can kind of,
Yes.
gauge, but that, if you were to take that AI transcriptions without any, fine tuning,
Yes.
that would not be, well, then I have to ask the Attorney General's office, would that be considered part of, if there was a suit of any kind, would that be part of the record? Would courts be able to take that without, readjusting for the fine-tuning part, like making sure that the T's are crossed, I's are dotted, as well as, like Joe said, 160 million could be 160,000? I mean, will courts actually take that in consideration?
I'll take that question, Senator. The obligation of the government is to provide the public, somebody who's protesting a bid, anybody who asks, the complete procurement record. Complete there is an understanding that along the way, not every document finds its way into the official file. And so having no idea what was discussed at meeting number 3, we don't know whether the fact there is not the original recording of the meeting might turn out to be a critical issue in a protest, or when you review the AI transcription of meeting number 3 and the minutes of meeting number 3, it was, at that meeting was the discussion, frankly, irrelevant to the direction a protest might go. But it is the obligation of the government to provide the best evidence it has available. And so if we are concluding today that the original recording has, disappeared into the internet, somewhere down the internet superhighway, then the best we have will be these AI transcripts, and it would be our obligation to provide the AI transcripts along with all the other supplemental material that supports the accuracy of those transcripts.
Mr. Chair, I know my clock is running. Is this my opportunity, the 10 minutes that is allotted to us? Or I just wanted to ask that question to clarify Mr. Duenas' comment. Is that?
No, Senator, this is an open discussion
Okay,
because we
okay.
are currently at an impasse. And so I'm not charging anybody time for these questions.
Okay.
We have to get past this in order to proceed. So as soon as everyone's done speaking on this matter, I am going to make I'm going to ask a question of the body. But I want to make sure that all the deliberation happens first. As the chair, I have to try to move past this, but I won't do that until the full discussion's been done. Has everybody asked every question on this matter that they intend to ask? Senator Barnett, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair. I think if we're going to be in committee of the whole and we're going to have the panel here, I don't see an issue with us getting AI transcriptions if the panel's here to vet, is this 166,000 or is it 190 million? Because a lot of the issues they're talking about with the AI transcriptions are, again, problems that we encounter. They get a last name wrong. Sometimes the money's thousands instead of millions, just to kind of really have a baseline, because other than that, I'm not satisfied with the option of getting nothing, I mean, if there are minutes for the meetings and we get the minutes and the AI transcription, so again, really just so that we can make a really informed decision, because we're being asked to interfere in a live procurement protest, and that's no small thing. And so I want to make sure that I'm as informed as I can be, and I just humbly ask the support of my colleagues so they can as well be informed. So I'd like to renew the motion that the AI transcripts be provided along with the meeting minutes for all 6 of the procurement negotiation meetings, Mr. Chair. Sido Smasi.
On that motion, is there any discussion on the motion by Senator Barnett? Senator Taitigui, and then Ranking Member Barnes, and then the Speaker. Senator Taitigui, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was hoping that I'd come to this session and find in at least our email or maybe papers on our desk, particularly for this so-called meeting number 3 that happened, because there's a lot of, issues that were brought up and things that we're hearing. So I have no problem with that. If there's a way that DPW can send each of us a link to that AI, to the, we lost the recording, right? We lost the recording. So that's that. But the AI transcripts and the minutes can be emailed to us. And that, I don't see an issue with that, while we're debating. If you want to keep the process going, Mr. Chair, if he can email all of us that, we can be reviewing it while we continue on. But I think it's a great idea to at least have that and have it emailed to us.
This is my seat, Senator. So I will dispose of this motion, and then I will make a suggestion, or I will ask the body to make a decision on how to proceed. Ranking Member Barnes,
Thank
you're
you,
recognized.
Mr. Chair. Just wanted a clarification on how the motion is being played out for the request for the transcripts. Would that be electronically transmitted or physically transmitted in hard copy? Because based on what was said by the panel, that everything is online, And as we continue to try and advocate to save trees and making sure that everything is in order, that I was under the assumption that even our documents are electronically provided. So is that the case? Just wanting a clarification.
Does the mover of the motion yield?
Yes, Mr. Chair. You know, right now we have nothing, so digital would be a big improvement from what we have right now. So I'm okay with digital transcription and meeting minutes, and then if maybe someone can make a motion later to have those printed out. But however we can get this information as quickly as we can.
So once again to the body, so we're clear, the mover of the motion for transcription to be provided has indicated that a electronic file in that format is acceptable as part of the motion. Mr. Speaker, you're recognized. Speaker Blas.
Sir, I wasn't done.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry,
yielded a
Mr.
question.
Speaker. He yielded the
Please
question.
indulge
I'm
me.
sorry, Speaker. Yeah. Do you have anything else, Ranking Member?
I just wanted to make sure, because if we're going to have it provided electronically, then based on the information provided, if they provide us the link and the address or just send it to us, we would get it in seconds. Am I correct? So maybe we can ask Joe, maybe that question will go for
Would
Joe
that,
Duenas.
yeah. If we took a recess, panel,
Would it take 1 minute,
would there
2
be a
minutes,
reasonable time, maybe 15, 30 minutes to be electronically transmitted?
I can get you the meeting minutes, which are in the public record, immediately. I'll just walk out the door and have them email it. Just tell me who to email it to. But there are
I
recorded
think we
minutes
could
of
just,
these
yeah.
meetings.
I think we can just put that in the Google Drive, because that's what we use for our session anyways.
Okay.
So, body, members, are you okay for it to be
So,
in the
on
Google
the
Drive?
motion-
Yeah,
On the motion, sir, as we're
Yes.
talking on the motion.
Yes.
And the clarification, so the mover of the motion is asking for the transcripts, and I was asking if it would be electronically transmitted. And then is it the request of the author to have all the transcripts and the hearings that were on, and if there was anything that's missing, but there's an AI reporting on that, if that all gets electronically electronically provided to the legislature, then that should suffice, because that's a part of not just our standing rules, but even the statute to allow for electronic transmission. So just wanting to make sure and make that clarification.
Yes, Ranking
For
Member.
anything and all information as it relates to Simon Sanchez.
Ranking Member Barnes, that's what I'm made to understand by what the panel has responded to, that it would be a transcription of all of the files, the AI files that were also were the transcription, as well as the minutes.
And that would be transmitted to the clerk of the court, or to the
Clerk of the legislature, and then we
or
would
the
upload
speaker,
it to the Google Drive.
or to the speaker as per our rules and regs.
We'll follow every procedure we have
Thank you.
internally to get electronic files, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Truly appreciate it.
Yes.
Just wanting to make sure we get it done.
And we're going to get her done. Mr. Speaker, you're recognized at this time.
I think for the most part, my concern is, okay, how long is it going to take? I just don't want this to drag. So how long can we reasonably expect to be able to get this information?
Sir, I'm checking that now. It might be immediate. Again, with the caveat that AI transcripts folks hallucinate. I think I saw 2 attorneys sanctioned for that recently, right here on Guam, with the caveat that the AI transcripts may not be accurate, right? So let me find out how long it will take.
Yeah, yes, Senator Tati.
Okay,
They're working on it right now.
okay. It did say that the recordings are all there for all the meetings except meeting 3. So will those recordings also accompany the AI transcripts as well as the minutes?
Senator, the recordings are all available to you on the online and the public right now on the DPW's website. And I would encourage everyone in here to listen to the recordings because you need to get context to the bigger picture rather than just a few minutes of discussion. I think you can all appreciate that.
Colleagues, I'm going to take a 5-minute recess to allow for Mr. Dueñas and others to update us as to their ability to transmit electronically all of the files. And as I understand it, Mr. Dueñas, just to be clear, so when we go back, you've made the caveat, and we have, of course, the Attorney General's office here, that it will be as transcribed by AI, which means it may have errors and the like. So the veracity of it, it's not going to be the same as what the directors talked about in terms of the official transcription under the signature reviewed by legal counsel. Okay. Senator Chalai, you're recognized.
Thank you. I just wanted to follow up on what the AG said. Is there a requirement for an online recording? Is that, without one, is that a violation of the procurement law?
Yes.
Is the transcript required by the procurement law?
No.
All right. So if there's already a violation of the procurement law by not having the recording of number 3, the third meeting or something, what have you defended that, DPW, in that situation? I heard from the other attorney he was hired by when DPW entered the protests, or was when the bid was protested. So what is the AG's position on that, Attorney Lahr? Attorney Lahr, did you defend that in the protests?
I'm sorry, Senator, can you restate your question? I kind of lost it.
When they said there was an incomplete procurement record and the record is missing the audio recording of a meeting, what did the AG say in its response? Did you defend DPW? It's not having an audio recording?
We're limited, as is anybody, by any kind of technology. My understanding, I wasn't with the Attorney General's office when that meeting occurred, but my understanding was there was a live recording of it, and it was subsequently lost in the cloud. So in that respect, as I read the statute here, the recording requirement was met.
But what
by
was said?
DPW.
What was said to the OPA in the protests?
I don't recall that question ever came up.
Wasn't the charge that there was an incomplete procurement record?
Writ large, that's correct.
Say that again? What?
Writ large, that there were no specifics in the protest that was made. It was a simple general statement that said, oh, the record's incomplete, but it did not reference the specific recording.
All right. What would be the effect of our discussions here today on the protests? Are there potentially any?
I don't see why it would.
Anyone else? Everybody agree?
Mr. Chair, if we're going to just ask questions just at willy-nilly, I think, can we just start asking them? Because I think we're trying to do the documents first.
That's
If we can
correct.
just-
No,
if we
we're
can
trying to
get
get
the
a recording,
documents,
Mr. Chair. I have
we
the
can get to
floor.
the business of this legislature,
point of
which is
order.
to address this actual bill. I'm hoping we can clarify at least the transcripts, and then we can take the break, get them here,
Mr. Chair, I
and then we
believe I
can move
have the
ahead.
floor.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
There was questions earlier about the
thank-
recording, and I wanted to follow up about the recording, and I don't see why I'm going to be cut off when I'm asking my question about the recordings.
Thank you for your question,
you.
Senator Gumatato. So within the scope of where we've been going back and forth, where the discussion is on the files and on the recording. So let's dispose of this and then we'll continue. Are there any, as per the Senator's question, is there any discussion on us proceeding?
Senator Chalahi, I understand that you're questioning this discussion during an ongoing, it's not a judicial, administrative proceeding. I am concerned by this whole, we're extracting a procurement process, taking it to the legislature, and then interjecting additional information. We're now looking at official transcripts. What is that going to do to the process? It's going to further complicate things, quite frankly. Our office has already talked about how some of these records maybe shouldn't have been put out in the open so quickly, because we're right in the middle of an RFP. The DPW has made certain decisions already. An aggrieved party has taken it before the OPA, has gotten a decision on it. The next step is for the parties to respond to it, react to it. So we haven't even gotten to the price part. The best qualified offeror is the first part of an RFP. The second part is the price. Everybody's realizing this is being slowed down tremendously while the public need is there, hence the legislature. So my opinion would be it's going to complicate and make more litigious, create more attorneys getting involved, and further delay the process by anything other than wiping out the bill, wiping out the procurement. And I've kind of said that informally to different people, because this is not going to make things any better. There's people with due process rights under the existing statute, the procurement law, and this is just complicating things. Thank you.
Senator Chalahi and members of the body, I'm going to make a decision then. I do agree that we've moved into a second version of a motion. So I'm going to take a 5-minute recess to allow us to receive the files to be uploaded electronically. And if there is another question on procedure going forward, we will entertain that at that time. Committee of the Whole is in recess. The Committee of the Whole is back in order. Colleagues, as an update, we are going to have panel members that had prior commitments, not realizing that we would go into this time of the afternoon into evening, as we have been going back and forth on deciding how to proceed. Second update is we are still getting the electronic files uploaded into our drive, and that also is taking time. The third issue is DPW would like to regroup with council, and actually we have been having some active discussions also with the Attorney General back and forth on some legal discussions. So with that, I'm asking your indulgence to return tomorrow morning at 08:30 to continue this process. Senator San Agustin, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry, just curious. The Attorney General mentioned earlier that we're like muddying the water. Can you explain further? Because you're our Chief Legal Officer of Guam, so I want to hear your part on where we're heading to, so we know what direction we should go, if at least something recommended from your side of the house.
Okay, I'll give him the opportunity to decide whether to put that on the record right now as discussions are ongoing. It's up to the General. But we've at least disposed of the electronic issue, and it will be solved and uploaded. And you know, also guys, this will give you the evening to, if you know, you're going to use that time to kind of go in to our drive as well and start getting familiar with what documents are in there. So it's kind of a win-win, but I will defer to the General if he wants to comment on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Senator San Agustin, so to try to sum up 3 years of law school and 35 years as an attorney, there's a high probability that this is going to continue through litigation, regardless of what is done, and especially with the governor's bill right now. There would be a benefit. Are speaking with the DPW Director, Vince Ariola, right now, in between the time that the senators come back, to provide a best recommendation on how to proceed, because there's many different options that can be done, but knowing how other cases have ended up in court that we don't want, or any potential damages to the people of Guam because of this process that's already been set in motion, I think I would like the ability to talk with the DPW Director. We're dealing with issues that we don't even have a solution right now on who can build this school. Even if we were to do something today, as a purchaser, a consumer, the people of Guam, the legislature is a consumer. We're trying to find a school for these kids. There is no award that's been made. There's two businesses that have come forward for it. So that idea of ripeness on acting before DPW has acted has come to the concern of our team in terms of legally. You know, what solution are we going to provide to the senators today as an option? Today, we don't even know if the best qualified offeror, as of today, should be awarded the contract, and that's that premature nature of it. So thank you, Senator San Agustin. I think that further discussions with DPW and kind of making sure we provide maybe several best options for the body might help.
Yeah, so in general, Senator, because we have not proceeded to act, we're not entertaining the bill at this time. We're entertaining discussions on how to approach the bill. I think, now I'm not a lawyer, but I think in my offline discussions, we have not entered that realm yet of, you know, creating that environment by still having this conversation. Senator Burnett, you're recognized.
Sidos Masia, Mr. Chair, and also want to just thank you for the leeway that you've granted this afternoon with some of the back and forth. But I just had a question for Attorney General Moylan. I mean, you previously on the record, you had talked about we're treading on thin ice. I'm just paraphrasing. So, you know, putting that with what you just said, what would your recommendation be in terms of what we do with this bill? Do we continue to address it, or I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Senator Burnett, I think it'd be best if I speak with the Director of DPW to provide those options for the chairman and the rest of the senators here today with yourself. Especially, you brought up an issue that has caused us to kind of wonder what exactly are these conversations going on, and if there is any danger of fraud or allegations of misdoings going on. So it would be a good opportunity. You now have this audio record which would be available between now and the time that you reconvene to review, and then for us to come in, as I said, as many options as possible. But yeah, I don't know what how, there will be options, but right now I would like to talk to Director Arreola first.
One of the discussions, Senator, is that we have discussed the fact that we can recess. Like we're going to recess until tomorrow morning at 8:30. We can go back into our regular session and stay in recess while there are discussions on this matter. And that way we haven't forgone disposing of the bill one way or the other and how we're going to move forward. But you know, there can be, I mean, obviously it's been well represented that the Attorney General, the General's counsel has been the counsel of record for giving DPW guidance. So this is not an improper correspondence between the attorney and client.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just for the viewing public, we have the minutes, and I just want to bring your attention to the minutes, Attorney General. There's a lot of interesting discussion in the minutes. And then further, and sorry, Mr. Chair, it appears like the minutes are edited, which I'm not sure why. There's items in these minutes where they're discussing scaling back things for Sanchez, like they want to make the auditorium smaller, they want to give fewer classrooms. But the issue I want to bring up is that parts of these minutes are in red and they're struck through. I mean, there was even a paragraph where Cortex said that they wouldn't mind starting the whole process over, but for whatever reason that was struck through. And I know senators in the hall, maybe some people on the panel, understand that to mean when you're doing legislation, you strike through stuff to take it off the record. But again, in providing these minutes, I'm not sure how they can justify striking through matters that were discussed on the record. So I just want to lodge that concern relative to the substance and process and how these minutes were given to the senators. And my colleagues can see if you look at the drive.
Thank you, Senator Burnett. I've been notified by Senator Chalabi. I believe the OPA representative, please identify yourself, also wants to make a statement.
Hello. Can you hear me? No, I just wanted to put in the same way as, my name is Jarek Hernandez. The public auditor is unfortunately off island, so I'm here representing him. I'm here representing the public auditor. My name is Jarek Hernandez. And I just want to, in line with what the Attorney General was mentioning, I just wanted to maybe request, because the OPA is the finder of facts and that there is a live appeal before us, that we be excused from these proceedings, because the only thing we can maybe answer is procedurally, like where the appeal's at. But we can't get into anything of the merits or anything. And so I think it's improper for us to be here on the panel to answer questions related to it.
So in consultation with the General, he does recommend also that we excuse you. Senator Chalabi, you recognize?
Yes, maybe we could just get an update then from OPA as to what is pending before them and what are the dates.
Okay, we are going to get this update from the OPA, and then we are going to recess until 08:30 tomorrow morning. So, yeah. Actually, the General does not recommend updates. We're going to go ahead and recess till 08:30.
Objection, Mr. Chair.